One of the reasons I'm enjoying making these videos is that more and more people are listening in, and we thank you for that very much. I don't know if I've gotten into it in great detail, but a large part of my background has to do with history and geography. I'm fascinated by geography, and that ties into my request that more of you tell me where you're from, what country or what state in the country are you from in your comments, because this is an area that is of great interest to me. Well, the whole area of artificial intelligence, or AI, is very much in the news and very much in my thoughts as a speculator. And one of the important things is that the growth of AI requires enormous amounts of electricity. And the way we get electricity is by building more power plants. And that again, there's a major change which has just happened, which is that the environmental movement, which relied on legislation called endangerment, which essentially said that greenhouse gases, including carbon dioxide, are something bad for humanity, that has just been canceled out. And so as a result of that, over time, I think it becomes easier to once again use or build power plants that use fossil fuels, whether it's oil or natural gas, or most important, coal, which, as I'm sure we all know, has been blanked out by anti-fossil fuel regulations. Now that that's gone, that's an issue that it will impact beneficially, in my opinion, artificial intelligence, because it increases the ability to expand the amount of electricity, the number of power stations. And so you take a couple of the stocks that we're interested in, particularly which already has a coal-fired power station that is very well centered right next to the grid for the middle west of the country. And so those are factors which we look at in more detail in our Substack channel. But in general, the whole issue of artificial intelligence is one where I would say I've got a lot of questions which will take a while to be addressed. For example, we use Perplexity rather than Grok, and when someone will ask a question like I do, I just did, I asked Perplexity, what was the CPI in January? And boom, it comes back and it says 0.2%. We can rely on that being pretty good. But what if you ask, which I have not done, gee, Perplexity, I wonder if I should buy General Motors or whatever, and Perplexity will come back with an answer. How useful that is, it has some use because in part of it they will quote facts that I can look into, which is useful. But in terms of whether how the stock will do relative to the overall stock market, which of course is key to us speculators, I have to say I have enough bias in terms of the human brain to say I don't think that if I were someone who was totally ignorant about the stock market, I don't think I would necessarily assume, oh, I can get all the advice I need from artificial intelligence rather than listening to people, individuals. We're talking about humans who have, I'll give you an example. I would much rather have 10 minutes of the comments from Warren Buffett than 20 years of all the artificial intelligence computers put together. If you want a copy of my book, The Speculator's Mosaic, just check below or it can also be bought on Amazon.